When we talk about public service, we imagine leaders dedicated to the welfare of the people. But what happens when those elected to serve earn salaries that dwarf the income of the average citizen? In Nigeria, the president, as the highest public servant, earns millions, while the lowest paid worker struggles to get by on a fraction of that. This raises a pressing question. Are Nigerian politicians overcompensated for their work, or is their high pay justified by the demands of their office?
The highest paid Nigerian is the president because he's the biggest man,
Yes.
in the public service. So if the national minimum wage is 70,000, let's even say that the president's salary is 2 million a month. You get the point. Yeah. So it's an unjust disparity.
Very.
But then it has to be a drop dead, threshold. Why the president doesn't really have a salary, because all his expenses are taken care of for him. For instance, in the budget of 2024, I think his feeding allowance was 9 billion naira.
The contradiction deepens when we consider the economic realities of the country. While political office holders enjoy unlimited earnings, the government struggles to implement an agreed minimum wage of 70,000 naira for its lowest paid workers. This stark contrast between the earnings of politicians and the plight of the ordinary citizens highlights a system designed to serve the elite at the expense of the masses. If true democracy guarantees the right to vote and be voted for, then setting financial barriers to political participation contradicts this principle. The issue, therefore, is not about high political salaries, but about a system that prioritizes wealth over competence in governance.
In the same APC, the governorship ticket was set at 50 million in that last election. In my poor state of Benue, 11 people bought the governorship ticket for 50 million. That's 550 million Nigerian naira. Over half a billion just to express interest and buy a 2-page or 4-page form to contest for one useless election. Then not to talk of the countless people who run for Senate at 30 million. So that means that teacher in my village, who is so popular and will win any election given a fair chance, cannot afford the ticket. So INEC must set a uniform standard contest cost, so that anybody who earns that minimum wage of 70,000 should be able to afford the ticket to run for president.
Beyond wages, another critical issue is the selective application of retirement policies. Public servants in various sectors have their retirement ages dictated by the president's discretion. Some seeing extensions while others are left out. What informed these decisions? Is it based on merit, political interest, or something else?
Almost the very week that Tinubu took over this government, he increased the salaries of judges by 300%. What does that tell you? What he says without saying it is that the judges are not the only people who are poorly paid. We just talk about the professors. The professor in the public university, earns about 400,000 a month. And everybody will say, okay, the condition of service of the judges, has finally improved. But the deeper meaning is that a judge who is so grateful that he just got a 300% pay rise, will find it difficult to rule in a case against that same government that gave him that kind of jumbo pay rise.
Interestingly, while civil servants must retire at a set age, politicians face no such restrictions. A president can contest for office regardless of age, yet workers in key sectors are forced into retirement. Could this be a strategy to keep power within a select group while limiting opportunities for others?
There's a bigger danger in the exercise of the president's discretion in these matters. All the countries in the world that I know have a national retirement age, which applies uniformly across board. But if you want to keep somebody longer because of the skills the person has, or the fact that there's a shortage of manpower in that particular sector, then you retain the person on contract. And then you pay the person more. But incidentally, the politicians who are setting these retirement ages for other people have no retirement age. A politician can contest election until he drops dead.
As these concerns grow, many argue and fight for a fairer, standardized approach, one that ensures both economic justice and equitable opportunities in public service. In Abuja, Chimeze Izadima for Signature TV.